The challenge, of course, is this generation. This generation has such a abundance of everything, and we all know this. That we thought that the easier it is, and whatever we want, we could get, would make our life so much better, and we all realize that's not what's happening. The challenges and the data and the research that has come out from all the gadgets and the social media and all the things and all these quote unquote gifts don't seem to be a very positive influence on the kids, on their happiness and their social abilities, on their communication skills, on their marriages. Yeah, there are incredible things. Look, I'm speaking it through WhatsApp and through videos. There's incredible gifts that Hashem gave us, but wow, it could also be so dangerous. Today, a child could be told, you're going away on vacation. We're going away on vacation. We're going to be flying to Florida for Pesach, for Chol HaMoed. And the child will say, private? First class, business class? I've seen it. And it's only because they heard that you could do such a thing. Or maybe that somehow they were lucky and they got gifted once. You could get, you go, it's true, you go on first class or business class 1 or 2 times or 3 times. Afterwards, going coach is misery. It's misery, especially if you're in the middle. But that's life. It's an amazing lesson not to get used to the pleasures, not to get used to the gifts that the Rebbe Shem gives us. And you always have to go back to Oshir. I'm a billionaire. I have teeth. I have an amazing story that maybe I shared many years ago, but it's a chizuk. It's a reminder for myself too. And the story basically took place maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I don't remember anymore. But every few months, and really every single day, I should review it. It was one of the biggest lessons I ever had when it comes to appreciating just the ability to lift my hand. So the story it's a true story, that happened. I was on the Muncie Trails quite a few years ago. I was going to Bar Park. I was going for voice training. I used to go for voice training. Famous guy, long story. Anyway, I'm on the Muncie Trails. Anyone that goes on the Muncie Trails, it's an experience in itself. And I fell asleep. It's very conducive to falling asleep. Anyway, when I fell asleep, my right hand was on the ledge, on the window where the air conditioning is coming out from. And they know how to really make it air conditioning, very freezing. And by the time I woke up, and I was in Bar Park, wake up from this deep sleep, so I tried to move my hand. And, you feel like, because I fell asleep. I just couldn't move my hand. It was like jelly. It's like, mamish, I put my hand like this, and basically it would fall down. So I thought, okay, I'm keeping it next. I couldn't pull out even my wallet. I couldn't pull out anything, but I thought it was just asleep. It had fallen asleep. We all have that all the time with our legs, our hands. Anyway, I go to my voice trainer, and I'm doing voice training, and I'm telling him my hand cannot move. And I'm getting more and more nervous. And finally he said, listen, you're in Bar Park. Go to Maimonides, go to the emergency room. Chas v'shalom, who knows what's happening? Maybe it's a stroke, chas v'shalom. This is unusual. Your hand doesn't stay asleep for half an hour. I went into the emergency room in Maimonides. It was around 4 o'clock, 4 p.m., 4:30. I was getting more and more nervous. My whole body was starting to feel like it's affecting my whole body. Chas v'shalom, I thought I was going into a stroke. I didn't know what was happening. The emergency room that day was very busy. It took them a while, but they felt bad for me. They thought it was takas. It was serious. So finally, they got me in, and the doctors had no idea. They put me in MRI, and they still didn't know what's going on. And they thought, chas v'shalom, is a stroke. I was lying down in one of the beds in the emergency room. It was packed. There was no beds. And I called up my Rebbe. I really thought I was leaving this world. It was getting worse and worse. My whole body felt numb. When psychologically you think that it's spreading the power of the mind. I called my Rebbe and I said, listen, first of all, I want to say goodbye. Because I spoke to my wife. But I said, Rebbe, I don't know what's going on. But I have one kasha. This morning, I was davening in Eitz. And these 3 Russians came by. And they were collecting stuff, the sweet Russian group. They go from one community to the next. I don't mean anything harm about them. Seem to be nice people, and they're collecting. Hopefully, it's really they need it. They need the money. They come with these hats. It's always mushed a little bit. No one teaches them. Maybe that's part of the. Anyway, they ask for money. I had an inspiration. I was putting on tefillin, and I said, "Listen, I'll give you $5." I told one of the Russian guys. First asked him his name. He told me his Jewish name, Beryl, from Russia, whatever. I said, "I'll give you $5 if you put on tefillin." He said, "No problem." And I put on tefillin. I felt like it was amazing. I was Makar this guy. Put on tefillin. Who knows? Maybe he never put on tefillin. Maybe he did. It was a beautiful experience. I said, "Rebbe, how is it possible that today my hand to put on tefillin and something else, mida keneged mida, b'mida shadam moeded, my hand will not be able to put on tefillin for myself?" Kasha. And the amazing thing is, my Rebbe usually has an answer, so I don't know. And maybe he just felt bad. He wanted to make sure I'm okay. He didn't want me to get all nervous. But the end of this story is amazing. To be continued.